Welcome to Tuesday's edition of John McEntyre Show Live. I'm John McEntyre, and today, let's say this: today is Tuesday, 17th, December the 17th. Pretty much a week away from the big day, Christmas. All of the gifts, all of the good food, all of that stuff is coming, and I'm getting excited. I love this time of the year. I can't hide it. Um, and that the what was that song? I'm so excited, just can't. I know. Let's get back to the show. I'm sorry. But like I say, I hope everyone is practicing that patience. They're, you know, being out there, you know, remembering the reason for the season, which is what we do as Christians, the birth of Christ. Um, and hope that you're finding some good deals because I know people are shopping because the numbers are up out there. Retailers, they're releasing numbers, the economists and everyone. So it's a robust spending season. So hopefully the people, at least the people I know, people here are following, not financing their today's gifts and be paying for them next year. So let's keep all of this under control. So I'm all about gift giving. I love giving gifts. I love receiving gifts. But we have to do it in the right way. We don't want to mess up our financial future over one season of gift giving. So just remember that. Today I have a good topic. Someone had a discussion with someone. But before I get into that, let's talk about these wallet wins. Let's share some wallet wins and get started with some celebrations. The first one is my goal was to pay off $20,000 in debt, and I've paid off 35,000. That is a wallet win for the ages. To actually go 15, almost double what your goal was. Yeah, that's a big win, and that is a momentum builder for next year. That's what I like. That's what I've noticed a lot with people once they've committed to getting their finances in order. Um, People they tend to do more than what they intended to do. They accomplish more. It never fails. Once you've committed to your goals or whatever, I rarely see someone not exceed them. Rarely. And usually there's something. I'm going to actually cover some reasons why in a few minutes. But every time, me personally, me included, every time we decided to do something, we've always end up doing more. Once we were committed and disciplined and had our plan in place, worked the plan, it always worked more than you expected. And that's just the way I've noticed it working. So that is a big wallet win of paying off, having a goal of 20,000 to pay off and end up paying off 35,000 for the year. That is one. Wallet win number two, I got a personal loan and I'm using it as a debt consolidation loan. I reduced my interest overall by 6%. Yes, that is a wallet win. I'm big on personal loans to consolidate debt. Um, when Unless it's one of those debts, say for instance you get a loan and it's 6% and you have a debt that's 5%. I will keep that one outside. I will leave that one outside. It actually has a lower, but everything above six and above, I keep it. I consolidate it because you're automatically saving money. I don't, if it's just 1%, you're still saving money. 1% is 1%, and if it's a large enough loan, 1% can be a lot of money. So that is a wallet win to actually use a personal loan to consolidate debt, pay off all of that credit card debt, all of those other personal loans and everything. So yes, that is a wallet win. Wallet win number three, my side hustle has allowed me to leave my full-time job. Oh yes, that is a wallet win. I celebrate those big time. I love entrepreneurship. I love it when people um, set a goal and they really want to start a business and they start that business and they provide the commitment and the long hours and the new learning, the new mindset, all of that, and make it successful. I'm happy to see a side hustle, especially that's just helping to pay bills, because um, in when I'm talking about working with someone on dealing with debt, getting rid of debt, getting out of debt, one of the first things I suggest to them is, because most people, I rarely meet a person that doesn't want at least a side business. And I've always recommended and advised people everyone should have a side business, because there's just so many benefits to it. It doesn't have to be, a multi-million dollar business or anything like that. It can just be generating, $500 to $1,000 a month. Just all of the benefits, the tax benefits, all of this stuff that you can receive. You open yourself up to, much. You can achieve your financial goals much faster, and you can have a larger financial future with just a side hustle. And so I've always recommended a side hustle, um, at least to eliminate debt. If it's generating where you could put $500 towards debt, now you can really get out of debt quickly. If you go back and check some of my videos of talking about getting out of debt, I go in depth about that, using a side hustle to do those things. Let your job, your 9 to 5, take care of home, take care of all of your responsibilities, and let that side hustle uh, build your wealth. That's what it's doing. So it's eliminating debt. Um, you can take advantage of different retirement accounts, things like that, and the tax benefits are out of this world. You receive thousands of pages of extra tax benefits. The IRS allow you to take deductions and write-offs and everything. So that's why I recommend it. That's why I celebrate anytime someone starts a side hustle and it starts to succeed. I'm happy. I celebrate those big time. I think back to my first side hustle, and that first time I made that extra profit. It wasn't much, but I was so excited to know that I created something that wasn't dependent on me going somewhere to punch a clock and work for someone else. That I was actually creating some financial independence, time independence, and more. I felt more self-sufficient that way, like someone else didn't have control of my financial future, or just my life period. So uh, I celebrate those. I don't want to get on a tangent, but I could talk about side hustles all day. I could do a show just on side hustles. I love it. um, but there we go. We have three big wallet wins for today. So let's get into this topic for today. A lot of people um, that aren't succeeding financially are always wondering, you know, why I tried this, it didn't work. That doesn't work for me. Just the investing is just something, it's just, I'm just gonna, however I end up in life is just where it's gonna be. And so they resign themselves to wherever they are. It's like they put a ceiling on themselves. And from working with hundreds of people, probably thousands of people, talking to them across the United States in seminars, workshops, working one-on-one, things like that, in group settings, uh, there's a lot of reasons people are financially stuck. But and I could go on, I can name a lot of them, but um, I just want to keep it on three. It's always these top three that shows themselves. It never fails. It's always these three, not in particular order, but they always show up at the top. And so I just want to cover those, because we're coming up, really coming up to the end of the year, and to build that momentum into next year, to accomplish it and not rely on just a resolution, but actually set up a strategic plan to win with money and to get your money on target. um, there are things that you need to know, and we all know that. But a lot of times it's what we don't know that really hinders us. It's what we don't know, and sometimes we have to go through a period of, we need to know what we don't know to help us make even better decisions. Because it doesn't matter. You can have the best plan. I've seen some of the best plans, 5-page plans, book size plans, and people have planned out everything, and they take it home and they put it on the shelf. And in the beginning, they were motivated like any other thing. They were motivated and excited, inspired. It wore off, and a great plan sat on the shelf collecting dust, like usually like the other resources that could really be helpful. And so I want to cover these top three, that the top three habits that keep people stuck financially. The first one is they just don't take responsibility for their financial situation. You just cannot get them to take responsibility. They they blame. They have an excuse for everything. It's never their fault. It was their parents' fault. Well, my parents never taught me about money, and they argued over money, so I don't want to deal with money because they argued, or it was never enough, things like that. Or it was a school system. The school system failed us. They didn't teach us this in school and everything. Um, and I have to sort of, well, I don't totally disagree with it because not every school did teach it. I did learn budgeting and some classes. I took economics in high school. I learned. I even learned how to complete. I was a senior in high school, and I completed my own taxes because the class that I took, it wasn't a lot of us in there. I just happened to see it, and one of my friend's dad, he was like, "Man, I wish we would have had a class like that back when I was in school." And he pointed it out, and he suggested that we take it. And so we took the class. My friend, he transferred out of it. He wanted to do something else. I stayed in there, and it was only a handful of us in there, and we learned how to do the basics. The 1040 EZ tax form, things like that, because our teacher, she had teaching was her second career. She had been a banker, and she taught that. I think she taught, it was like one class she taught. I think she taught home economics, some other things, um, but this was specifically, it was a business type like class, a financial class. So I took it, and I learned a lot in there. We talked about budgeting, we talked about spending. We did field trips to the bank, um, and opened up bank accounts. Our first savings account, things like that. Permission of our parents. Of course, we had our forms, and she knew all of the bank people, and she had worked there. Like I said, I think she had maybe worked about 20 years in the bank. Then she transitioned into teaching, high school, and so I did learn. So that excuse for me, it didn't work because I couldn't use it. Um, and I'm when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about myself. We've all used, made had reasons and excuses. But people that don't move forward financially, they actually have externalized the reason why they are not going to win with money. They basically put the blame outside of themselves. And as long as the blame is outside of yourself, yes, you will never move forward, because you will always have someone to blame for your financial failures. It'll be your job, it'll be your friends, it'll be family, it'll be someone, it'll be the economy, it'll be the politicians, it'll be God, it'll be just whoever, it'll be the spouse, the girlfriend, whatever, boyfriend, whatever. And it will always be a blame, someone to blame or something to blame. And so as long as you do that, as long as you complain, you blame, and play the victim, um, you know, saying that, someone or something is holding me back, and every time I save some money, someone takes it or I lose it, and and not taking responsibility that maybe it's just your habits. You overspend and you can't say no, and you're just not disciplined. It's going to keep you back. So you just might as well, if that's what you're going to do, then you're just going to be stuck. So that's number one. They just don't take responsibility, for their financial situation. Number two, they give up easily. The first obstacle, for instance, when I sit down with someone and they know we're going to talk about budgeting, because most of the time, that's a lot of people, they come because they want to make a budget work, and they they're kind of ready. And so there's some that come in that they have their motivation, they have their values, they've thought about what's really important, and it's motivating them. And no matter what the obstacle is, they've learned to turn, you know, obstacles and the big boulders into stepping stones. Everything's a stepping stone to them. They use it, they learn from it, and they know this is a learning process, that I didn't get into this trouble overnight. And so I'm not going to fix it overnight. And so they take that long vision approach, the vision, and they have their vision of how they want their life to be, what they want to do, how they want to live, and, being, doing, and having in life. And they move forward no matter what. Their perspective is just different. Then you have the other group that every every obstacle is, it's a sign. Maybe it's a sign that this is not going to work for me, or I tried and it didn't work. And when I'm talking to them, if I'm talking to someone there, I'm like, okay, so how long did you try it? Well, I think it was for, that first, the first month, nothing worked. I said, okay, well, didn't work for me either the first month. I said the second month either. About the third month, like I've said, about the third month, everything started to fall in place. The budget started to work. Some of my habits were changing. I was taking better control of myself. I was more disciplined, because there's an old saying. My mentor told me that it takes uh, roughly around 21 days to break a habit, and 90 days to build a lifestyle, to actually, for the change to actually cause something different to happen in life. And so I took that, I took that to heart and worked with it. And just, the obstacles, they came. Business. I mean, if you look at if every little thing is going to cause you to quit, do not get into business. You probably won't go up the corporate ladder. If you're in corporate, you probably won't do well in your job. You probably won't just do well, period, in life, if every little thing makes you quit. If you quit easily. And I learned, and this is something I'm instilling in Bella, my daughter. I never allow her to quit something. At least finish what you start, and then we'll gauge. Because one thing I did not want her to do is every time something got tough, she would quit. Now I'm old enough. I have some friends, and me included also. There's some things I quit early in life that it was just an obstacle. It was just a test, and I allowed it to make me stop. And the pain of discipline, doing what you have to do, is much better than the pain of regret. Believe me. And when it comes to money, when people, like, I've done a show where, I've talked to the elderly and people on their deathbeds and things like this. As we advisors, um, we deal with a lot of retirees and people on that, that season of life. And they tell me, they was like, regret is one of the hardest things. It is almost impossible to just work with regret, because it's just so painful. It causes emotional pain. And so, if that's what I'm teaching Bella, don't quit. Just the pain. Yes, the pain of discipline is much better. I said, please trust me, it's much better than the pain of regret. And so, if you're going to give up easily, financial success is probably not in your future. Success, period, for that matter, if you just quit very easily. So that's number two. Number three, they're very closed-minded. And like I said, there's plenty more, but these are like the top three. And they're, being closed-minded. Today they talk about, you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. These people have a fixed mindset. They can't be taught anything new, especially, here in the country. I come from the country, rural area. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Okay, well, that's probably true. I don't know. I'm not into dog training, but you're not a dog. You're a human being. From what I understand, human beings can learn anything they want to learn. The brain is called the law of plasticity. It will change. Actually learning and growing, learning and challenging yourself actually keeps the brain healthy and growing. And if fixed mindsets and not learning anything new, not challenging yourself, kind of causes the brain to shrink and almost feed on itself. There's study after study about dementia, Alzheimer's, and people that showed early signs of it were people that had pretty much stopped learning and growing and challenging themselves. But the people that are challenging themselves, they're in their 90s, 90s, and if you are middle aged now and you're healthy, taking care of yourself, you could there's a good chance you could see 100 years old. Do you want to like remember it, like when you get there, know that you're there, or maybe not know that you're there, or die prematurely, and you could have lived longer? Well, the people that challenge themselves, and since we're talking about money, people that took better care of their money, they saved, they invested, they saved for retirement early, they took advantage of their retirement accounts and everything like this. And some of the older ones, they do have pensions. They came up, working for companies that provided pensions, but not all of them. And so they took advantage, and they're much happier knowing that they can take care of their health. They have the health insurance, they have other insurances in place. They can live a lifestyle, they can travel, they can take care of family, do things, leave a legacy. They're much healthier people, and it's because they're just open-minded. They're still learning. Closed-minded people, stock market, that's a scam. Bitcoin, that's for suckers, that's gambling. All of this, real estate, um, it only works for certain people, or only crooks are wealthy, and you have to do this, you have to do that, and they just know it all. They already know. They don't, like I said earlier, they don't know what they don't know. They think that what they know now is enough. It's just enough for today. What you know today is enough for today, but tomorrow is coming. And what we do know is one of the most inevitable things that's going to happen in life is change. And so with finances, that's why you have to constantly keep yourself learning and growing and understanding what you're invested in, what you're doing, your financial literacy. And it is very helpful, beneficial to your mental health, knowing that you've taken responsibility for your financial situation and things are working, and that gives you a positive, optimistic outlook. And so you're just much healthier. You have you're just healthier all over, and you just have a better outlook on life, and your people like you. So because people, closed-minded people, that people, you attract who you are. Like they say, you attract the opposites. But if you don't have a lot in common, the opposites will leave eventually. And then you'll just end up with a lot of closed-minded people who know it all. No one's learning anything, and everyone's just trying to prove what they know, that what they know is right and what you know is wrong. I don't want to live life that way, and I don't want my financial life to be that way. So those are the top. I'm going to end it there. Those are the top three that I've noticed that keeps people, financially stuck, keep them from moving forward. And so now, excuse me, with this time of the year, it's time for you to ask the question. Um, just sit down and do that assessment. Look at every area of life. It may be time to talk to someone like us. Here we can help you with that. Where you might need someone outside of yourself to help you assess and understand what's going on in your finances. Our information is on the screen. You can visit johnmcintyre.com and contact us. If you have wallet wins you would like to share, we want to celebrate those with you. If you have questions, we're always welcome your questions. We answer them. I remember, I'll answer them live. If you're watching and you will have a question, put that uppercase Q or capital Q, whichever one you use. I'll answer it. We save it for the show. Contact you. We can talk about it on the show. You can be a guest on the show and we discuss it. So with that being said, I will see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Tune in tomorrow. Have a good day.